All right. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to our quarterly expert and trainer update. We have a pretty cool agenda for you guys. I know you guys probably all saw that we've sent it out previously, but I just wanted to set expectations that today we're going to talk a lot about transcription because we have the most updates going on for that. We will still talk about NVivo updates since the release in March, and then we will have our normal Q&A, everything. And then we will be talking a little bit about the conference in September. So just wanted to give you guys a quick introduction to our business analyst, Jen, who will be handling our transcription. And then she'll also be doing our NVivo updates as well. So Jen, if you'd like to chime in, I can make you the presenter.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Can everyone hear me? All right,
Yeah.
let me share my screen with everyone. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can, Jen.
Yep, we
Great,
can hear.
thank you. Well, hello everyone, nice meeting all of you. My name is Jen Dezak and I'm a business analyst here at QSR. I'm excited to be showing you the latest functionality that we actually just implemented earlier this week for NVivo transcription. So let's jump right into it. To begin, you'll notice a difference in the UI. We have added selection options in the main navigation header, files, dictionary, and support. You'll notice with the files selected, this is the initial page you're used to seeing. The dictionary feature was implemented based on user feedback regarding uncommon words, names, acronyms, and phrases that were difficult to transcribe properly. Using the dictionary will help teach NVivo transcription to better recognize the words entered in the dictionary, resulting in a more accurate transcription. While the addition of the dictionary is the highlight of this demo, we will dive into other new functionality, including a new find and replace option within the editor. Before we get to those features, let's take a look at the new support dropdown. Here you now have a single place to access multiple tours, what's new, and the new transcription help page. As you can see, there are links for various help topics, including a new workflow page that details items included on both the files page and editing page. There is also a dictionary help page for additional details regarding the dictionary feature. So now that we have looked at the new navigation as well as where to find support for both features, for both the new features and existing, let's walk through how to use the dictionary. Let's first look at a transcription that I have previously uploaded without the use of the dictionary. Go down here. So as we can see in this paragraph, there are 3 instances where NVivo was transcribed incorrectly. So this is where the dictionary comes in. This is where you can teach NVivo transcription, words, names, acronyms, or phrases you want transcribed in a particular way. Here you are able to add, edit, or delete the entries. There are some rules around adding entries to the dictionary. Each dictionary entry must have a desired transcription. The desired transcription has a 500-character limit. This includes spaces. You are able to use any characters. The sounds like field is optional. The same 500-character limit applies, and you cannot use the same sounds like term for different desired transcriptions. If a term has more than one pronunciation, you are able to enter multiple sounds like formulations in the field, separated by a semicolon, as shown in the NVivo example. The dictionary also allows a maximum of 1,000 entries. The dictionary also offers an option to import and export records. In order to import, you need to first download and update the template. All of the same rules and edits that apply when you manually add a single entry also applies during importing. This would be particularly helpful for researchers within the same field. If I, as a researcher, taught NVivo specific words related to my field, I would be able to export my dictionary, pass it along to my colleague, who would then be able to import it directly into their own dictionary. So now that we have added our dictionary entries, let's go back and see how this all comes together on the Files page. In order to utilize the dictionary, it must be selected after you upload a file. Select your language, and then you have the option to select to use the dictionary or not. If the dictionary is enabled, when a media file is transcribed, NVivo transcription attempts to recognize the written desired transcription entries in the speech from the audio. As you can see here, once the items are already transcribed, the checkbox remains to indicate whether the dictionary was used or not. Let's review our project with the use of the dictionary. As you can see, the 3 instances that were previously not properly transcribed are now properly transcribed. Let's also take a peek at the find and replace feature that was added. You can see here, I'm trying to find the word inaccurate and replace it with not correct. And that is now updated. You also have the option to use match case and match whole word during the find and replace. If I look for well, for example, without match case, it returns 19 results. You can see that it selects both uppercase and lowercase. With match case selected, it now only finds 15 results, and you can see it only now selects the lowercase. For match whole word, for example, if I use me, you can see the editor will identify any version of me, whether as a standalone word or letters within a word. Note the word sometimes. Use of match whole word will only identify an exact match. So the example sometimes is no longer found. Lastly, you're able to add to dictionary during find and replace. The record will not be added to the dictionary until you select either replace or replace all. So now if we go back over to the dictionary page, you can see our entry was successfully added. So that covers the fun new features just implemented for NVivo transcription. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Jen. So why don't we move on to the NVivo updates, and then we'll do our Q&A session.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Thanks, Jen.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Did that shut it off? No. Can you see my screen still? No?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, good.
You're good.
Okay, great, thanks. So as far as NVivo goes, we've had a couple of releases since March. The release in April, NVivo added, NVivo is now available in Japanese and Spanish. As of May, they added some additional user interface languages, such as French and German. In August, there was an improved user interface readability and a VPAT was provided. There was also various bugs that were resolved. And we have a upcoming release that will provide some performance updates with coding with many codes, as well as additional bug fixes that will be included in that release. I'll provide a link in the chat for additional further details on the release notes for NVivo. And I think that's it for me.
Okay, great. Really quickly, before we jump into the Q&A, unless Tanya, you had something to add?
Oh, good. Thanks a lot, Jen.
Thanks.
So just quickly, we have two new NVivo certified experts with us since our last get together. And they are Irina, who's in the UK, and Trudy, who's in Australia. So, you know, just we want to welcome them to the community, and, you know, looking forward to working with them. So at this point, I will start to unmute. And if you guys have questions or want to chime in, just let us know. Let's see. So you guys should all be able to unmute yourselves. If you have a question, or I guess I've got a list of questions here. Christina said that you can't see the screen, and I'm not currently screen sharing.
But in the last bit, I could see the screen for the transcription bit, but not the second bit. It didn't come up for me. But
Jen, I guess they didn't see your screen for the NVivo updates. Did you have anything really crazy to show them screen-wise?
No.
Okay.
No. I wasn't sharing my screen during the NVivo section. It was just a highlight of the note of the release notes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We've got a question from Lee that says, This won't be a requirement for us as we don't subscribe to the enterprise functions, but is there complaints with the UK EU new public sector body regulations? While you're not a public sector body, we are and need to ensure our suppliers are compliant.
I'm unsure of that. I'm not sure if Harry or Stacy have any thoughts. Otherwise, I'll need to do some research and get back to you.
Okay. And just as a quick note, any questions that are left kind of open-ended by the end of this, I will be taking notes on those. And so when we release the email with the recording of this session, I'll be sure to include any of those questions with the answers for you guys, okay?
Thank you.
Sure thing, Lee. Anybody else? Questions about the new transcription updates? Anything about NVivo?
I can certainly say I'm very excited to have a play with the dictionary. This would have saved me so many hours of work in my own research. Although I was very entertained in the different ways it managed to pick up certain words which were very, specific proper nouns, which is fair enough.
Yeah, well, we're very excited about all the work that's been done, and looking forward to improving it even more over time. So.
Thanks. Questions I posted. Just thinking of the demonstrations of the search and replace there, that when you're making product videos or putting anything out about this, I think it would be really useful to also show how they can be used not just for correcting mistranscriptions, but using that and the find and replace to bring in anonymization, because that's often the area that I see people that's where they really get focused on or concerned about with auto transcription. So if you can demonstrate that yes, you can correct the transcript, but then you can also go through and search for or replace place names or people's names, proper nouns, with redacted or P001. It's that kind of function that can really make researchers go, that's what we need. So it's just thinking through the way of showing these things. It's not always about correction. Sometimes it's that focus on anonymization is actually more important for people.
Thank you. That's helpful.
We did have another question from Subi that says, hi, are there any plans to resolve the compatibility between the latest NVivo versions and previous versions, as I am working with students who have different versions and it's causing issues?
I don't know who's on, Abby, but this is Stacy.
Yeah.
So well, maybe Jen can say this, but I think historically, we've always, you can always upgrade or convert the project to the latest version, but we've never gone backwards. I think that's the question. So to make it easier, everyone sort of needs to be on the same version if you're working with people in a group or a team. It makes it a lot easier.
I mean, that to pick up on that, that's the problem I'm seeing at the moment, where I've seen at least 2 group projects where basically people have been told, right, you're gonna have to stop working on it because their institution or they individually have been upgraded to the latest version, but the institutions that I've been working with are all still on NVivo 12 because the license structure changed. So they are going through the process, but it's actually caused problems for teams. So I think there's something about forward compatibility is generally moderately unproblematic, but if compatibility change and license structures change at the same time, then all of a sudden you've got and that's what's happened with the latest one, you've got two issues. So you've got some people who have been kind of forcibly upgraded, and they can no longer work in a team, and that's often the context when people are dealing with a team project or multi-site, multi-institution project. So I think if that could be factored in, there would be a way with a new version to ideally export the project in a backwards compatible way for the purpose of merging, only if licensings are changing, because it's causing quite a lot of disruption across a couple of research teams that I'm seeing at the moment.
It's a good point. That's Steve Wright, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Right, terrific. Thanks very much for that input, Steve. Unfortunately, Harry, who's the head of NVivo product, is unable to actually speak on on the call this morning. He's just found difficulties from home. So I think it's a good point. We'll actually take it back to the team. I think Jen will sort of guest talk that from a team perspective, I guess, at this stage. But thanks for the input. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. It's just I think I'm seeing it as well with some other things when life it's just that difference between a software upgrade, same terms, and a software upgrade. Oh, and by the way you get it or the way it's licensed has shifted as well. It's assessing the impact for that, but yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's always challenging because otherwise you end up then trying to support endless old versions. But it's just factoring that in for the future. It's just that shift there has, it's the first time I've seen it. Because previously it's just been like, well, you just need to move from 11 to 12. And actually they can do it, and it's been unproblematic. Just this time, and there's a huge lag. So I'm still not on the new version of NVivo because I only support one person who is, so I'm still quite far behind because of the state of institutional licenses.
And you won't be the only one in this situation as well, Steve. We find this right across the board. People are still transitioning to NVivo, and we also appreciate the input from the way which we've changed the license acquisition as well as a new version. We appreciate the in some cases it's not going to necessarily be the smooth transition, but we're also addressing that as we go along, especially in the My NVivo portal. We're actually addressing a lot of the user experience and actually trying to ensure that it's a more streamlined approach to that. So anyway, Steve, at the end of the day, thanks very much for your input. I appreciate it, and I think it's something that we'll take back to the team. I'm sure Harry will be listening intently, but thanks, Steve.
If there aren't any other questions, I think we probably have some time to turn things over to our community manager, Stacy, and she would like to share with you some information about the upcoming NVivo conference next week. So Stacy, I've just made you a presenter.
Great, thanks. So hi everyone, nice talking to you today. So I wanted to give you an update on some of the work that the community NVivo community's been doing too. So first, I'm excited to say, and hopefully everyone can see my screen. No.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yep. Can people see my screen? Or no? Now you can, right? Okay. Okay. So we're partnering with Sage Publications on a webinar series with their authors. So we're doing a fall series and then also a spring series. So the fall series starts on October 7th. We already have a bunch of people registered. Sage is also going to be promoting it, so I expect to get a lot more people registered, so please do. They're complimentary. And these are the authors and the topics, so some exciting topics there and authors. Also, The podcast Between the Data has been very well received. Christina, who's on, she did a great one that's gotten a lot of downloads. So feel free to, share that with people you're training with. I'm basically interviewing researchers about their research. And what's great is you really hear the passion they have for their work in the podcast. So, feel free to share that. It's right on our website, but you can also get it on any of these platforms. Just to show you, we probably have more now. This was from Monday, but it shows you it is worldwide. People are listening across the world, which is pretty exciting too. And we'll just keep growing it as we go. My goal is publish 2 podcasts a month. And Abby actually is my expert editor, and she's doing the editing of the sound of the podcast and does a great job with that. Also, I wanted to share that we're trying to use the NVivo forum besides support type of questions. So I'm trying to integrate it into the community to be more of a networking feature. So these are some of the things we're trying to work with. And I'll just show you something new that we've added here. So this, within the forum, there are clubs. So I'm calling them research clubs. And I've created a few on ethnography, mixed method, grounded theory, arts-based coding research team. But, I could even do one on, training with NVivo if you'd like. The idea here is people can have discussions specifically around topics that they're interested in. So a lot of times we get questions like, I'm trying to find other people that do art-based research. How do I find them? So this would be, where you could find them. What's neat about this is there's actually a search, and I'm going to be cleaning this up soon, but I can search on members, for example, and put in, let's see, search, to do interest. So if somebody put in an interest, like they have an interest, they do their own, it'll actually show me who is interested in ethnography. So what's important though is that the person creates their bio. So I'll show you mine, or their puts information like their interest, their research interest, maybe where they're from, so you could find other researchers in your area to reach out to. So after the conference, I'm going to be working on building this out and making it look prettier, but I think it's something we can use to help network with people. And then, so talking about the conference, I just wanted to show you some numbers here. So my co-organizer is Silvana. She's done a lot of work on the conference also. So I want to make sure I give her credit. So these are the tracks that we have presentations in, and you can see, a lot of different topics, interesting topics, and the presentations seem to be very good. And then the types of presentations, so mostly it's paper submissions. We have one panel and then posters, and then from the different sectors. You'll see a map in a minute, but from all over the world, and these are the different research methods that people will be talking about in their presentations. These are our exhibitors, so a lot of NVivo, and then Sonia's a product QSR has too on student placement management, and then I'm excited that we have Sage, and then these are our partners around the globe. And then these are the attendance. So these are even higher numbers now. This is about a couple of weeks ago, but it shows you it is a global conference. So all exciting. So now I'll go into the actual platform. Here it is. So you come in, it looks like this, the lobby, you have the sessions, exhibit hall, chat, help. I'm just going to go into the sessions from here. So you can see what this shows is the upcoming sessions. And then you can go to the different tracks here and see which one you would like to join at that time. You can get the full schedule here. And then if I go into a room, it's obviously not live yet. So this is going to be a recording. So it's a recording of the presentation, but the chat, there'll be a little button up here that says Q&A questions, and that you can then type in and chat with the presenter and ask them questions while the recording's going. You can also, and then after after the session's done, it actually goes into this on-demand section, and you can see what the track. So you can go in and watch a presentation after it went live. So not only within the 24 hours, but then 90 days after the conference, you have access to all the presentations. And then in the chat lounge here, first one, the Help Center, we're doing a giveaway contest. So whoever gets the most points and doing activities within the program here can win prizes. You can also get your downloads. So you can download PowerPoints or anything that the presenters have uploaded to their presentation. And with the chat lounge, we're still filling this out, but there are going to be special interest groups here. So you can pick a special interest group that you want to chat with people with. And it is all typing. There's nothing with live voice. And then in the exhibit hall here, we have our posters. So you can go to a poster, for example. And so there's information, welcome screen about the poster, the actual poster you can download, and then many of the poster presentations have a short 5-minute presentation on the poster, and then you can chat with the poster presenter here. And then the exhibit hall, we have the all the exhibitors. So for example, you can go into NVivo. There's a short little video explaining NVivo. We have our brochures. There's a short demo, use cases, webinars. So you can sign up for the Sage webinar series or on demand, different ways to purchase, the trial, win NVivo, and then contact us. And then you can talk to an NVivo representative here. So there's still time if you haven't registered. Where the registration closes on September 20th on Sunday. If you join the NVivo community, so I'll just go to the website and show you. If you join the NVivo community, you get a discount. So it's $99 to $10, or you can do $79 if you join the community. You get a code to do that. If you're already a community member, just email me and I will have no problem sending you the code. So I hope everyone's a community member. I'll just put in my email here. So any questions? And we have trainers of Solana and sorry, Christine, I don't know who's on here, but we have and Steve Wright, 4 or 5 trainers who are presenting. So that's great. We're excited about that, and we hope all of you can participate and attend too. And that's my email if you want to get the discount coupon from me. So that's it. I'm happy to take questions, but otherwise, on to you, Abby.
Great. Thank you so much, Stacy. That looks awesome. We're very excited about that. So I think we've pretty much covered everything that we have going on with transcription and NVivo and the community. Stacy, thank you. Jen, thank you. Tanya, do you have anything you'd like to contribute?
No, all good. Thanks,
Cool.
guys. Thanks everyone for joining today.
Yep.
Oh, before we get up, I just remind people, well, if, for authorized trainers, there's a session September 30th that Laura's going to be conducting. So I will send another reminder about that too, for trainers to talk to each other.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you taking the time to join us, and we will be sending out an email hopefully quite shortly with the recording and the answers to any questions that need further exploration. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you are, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.